There it is.
Well, I think we are live.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, there it is.
there it is.
Good evening, everyone. I saw Greg Evers is in Dallas, Texas. I guess Greg is doing his
Oh,
annual
oh
camp
man.
tour.
Oh, good. Where's the first one?
I have no idea. I'm assuming he was at Tom Beard last week. Tom Beard was
Oh
last week.
yeah, let us know how that went.
I don't know what exactly he'll be doing in Dallas. Oh,
Great
probably
Lakes.
Mike DeFee's camp. Is that this week?
I don't know.
I don't
No,
know
that's
either.
in May.
That's in May. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
UFL games.
Great Lakes Camp. What's that? That's that Honig's?
Yes, I've been. Man, that's still of all time my favorite camp. Golly, I love that camp.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It gets great reviews. I mean, I think everybody loves that camp.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, just
Next to
Honig is just
officiating.
pure officiating is garbage. No, it was Dick Honig is such a nice man. I don't know if you've ever had a chance to meet him. And he literally did everything himself. Like all of the registrations, he would personally respond to people. And it was just just to me, man, it was like, golly, this is cool.
That's nice.
Yeah. Of course, that was 14, 15 years ago when I went.
Well, still going.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how much involved he is.
You are one of the camp lifers, and I'm not saying that disparagingly, but you really committed to that.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Because I knew that was the way I needed to get better and the way I was going to, learn how to work college football. And then when my opportunity came, I was terrible and I still got hired anyway.
Everybody is, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at that. Rob's saying Dick still does everything.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
That's
training, really meals, etc. Yeah. It's a lot of work. Oh, April. Okay, sorry.
In New Orleans. Oh, look at that.
Oh, that's funny. That's cool.
What football is he going to use?
I don't know. Yeah. What are you doing in New Orleans? Is that like Tulane?
No. He has Conference USA in Mountain West.
Oh, good point. Tulane's in the
American. Yeah.
North Tech. No, what am I talking about?
North Texas, Denton, Texas.
But that's not.
That's not New Orleans.
Well, I don't know. We'll have to put the. Probably we are the worst two people to try to figure this out. So maybe somebody who actually knows what's going on could help. I don't know what that would be.
Yeah, I'm
sure it'll be good though.
Insulated. Don't really know all this stuff.
There we go. Okay.
All right, cool.
Okay, so the camps are lined up. That's good. That's good. Well, I don't know. Kind of itching, but didn't work out for us this year, I guess. Well, not yet. So,
yeah, we got one on the books.
So let's see what I want to do here.
Don't we start games with kickoffs, Brandon?
Yeah. Let me make sure I understand what I'm doing here first.
Okay, you probably don't. You missed the production meeting, so.
Yeah, I was the only one there. I must have had the date and time and location wrong. Oh my gosh! I'm just kidding. Blue turf, absolutely. All right, we're starting with kickoff. Here it is. All right, I want to talk about we have a blue arrow. Wow, blue circle, black circle, and we're gonna have calls for holding. I want to talk about the calls. I want to talk about the mechanics. We have flags coming in all over the place, so we can kind of get a sense of who's looking where. Just double check and make sure we're good. And then we got to go into enforcement. I mean, we got to go into enforcement on these. And then there's gonna be another layer to this play. And you might see it, but don't worry about it because we're gonna focus and we're gonna go step by step. All right.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, blue circle. That hold that is called occurs. Well, the block occurs kind of just right in that Mountain West logo, right?
Yeah.
Right in that logo.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go through it. Honestly, I evaluate this blocking technique, and his hand location is okay.
Mm-hmm.
Right, but it doesn't work out for him with his body positioning.
Well, hold on. Look, before we get there,
Okay.
How about we talk about the mechanics of the back judge? I love how he sprinted onto the field and got as far as he could get, and then basically broke down when it was time to start evaluating the blocks. And you can see he's recognizing that, you know what, these blocks are about to start. I need to start getting myself set up. And that's what he did. And he was still as he evaluated the block. So let's just make sure we cover that and make sure we because that's
can't see any of this stuff if you don't get there.
No.
Yeah. And I want to talk about that. That's a great point. We should talk about that first. So I'm glad you brought that up. I'm not big on like you have to be at the 50 at the numbers or halfway. I'm not big on that. I mean, I don't think that's that important. I think it's okay to have that in mind through repetition, you know, kind of a landmark. But the most important thing is to do what this gentleman did, which you already described, which is get out there and get set. Right now, we shouldn't be just off the sideline a little bit. We got to get in towards the numbers a little bit.
Yes. Well, the good thing, the thing to recognize is the direction of this kick. This kick was kicked down into the bottom third or the left third or the back judge's third. So we don't need to get all the way to the hash if we're back judge. Now, if we're the umpire on the other side, let's try to get our way to the hash because all 22 players are essentially going to be within this bottom third. So if we're putting ourselves on the numbers at the top as the umpire, well, what exactly are we doing? We're not offering much help to the crew. Look where all the players are.
All the players are outside that hash, outside position 1.
Yeah.
Or inside, whatever you would say.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Sorry.
Cool. I like it. I think that this is one of the few controlled sprints that we do.
Yeah.
At least, I mean, I do. I don't know about you.
So
how are your hamstrings holding up?
I'm good. I haven't worked the game yet, so I'll tear my hamstring on the first game, I'm sure, because I'm totally out of shape and I'm old. But it's all right.
Okay.
But you mentioned controlled sprint.
Yes.
I've seen you in a wide open sprint, and it's not much different than what I would consider a controlled sprint. So could you maybe help us understand?
You mean the clock doesn't really, the radar gun doesn't?
It says the same thing.
Statistical significant difference. Okay, enough of that. Okay, cool. I like that. Directional. We adjust these mechanics directionally. Have a landmark, but don't be fixed to that landmark, right? Because we have to adjust.
Exactly.
So middle kick, we're going to get more inside than this back judge did.
Yes.
Kick away from him, he's going to be more towards the Bulldog logo.
Yes.
And like you said, the umpire should be more towards the Bulldog logo. Here, this is perfect.
Perfect. Exactly.
Okay, great. So now we do see the player number 87 in the logo blocking blue circle.
Yes.
And he gets beat. All right. He gets beat. I believe I would classify this as getting beat. I wish he would have somehow just like shown us he was driving this player more. Unfortunately, what I think we see here is that the kicking team player who is now on defense trying to make the tackle, the coverage team, his shoulders turn.
Right.
His shoulders turn, and if you were to stop this, you would actually see his back completely turned toward the runner. And he's taken a couple of those shuffle steps along with that. Is that enough for you to say there's restriction?
No, I'm gonna be honest. No.
Okay.
Because he could really be trying to fight his way around the block, just using poor technique, using terrible technique from a defensive standpoint, and trying to fight his way around a blocker who's driving him. That would be a bad idea because what's going to end up happening is, which we see here, but I really want to see that left hand because the only restriction is going to come from that left hand based on the body posture of the two combatants.
What's weird is normally we'd see an outstretched arm by the blocker and the restriction would be more evident in terms of the grab.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So this is a little bit.
That's why this one is iffy for me.
I had to watch. I watched. This is now the 456th time I've watched this play.
Right.
Getting ready for this or whatever. But so I'm glad we're talking through this because I've gone around a little bit. I came to the conclusion that I think the best angle at what the left hand is doing is actually the field level from the back judge position. That's my conclusion.
Well, I would think the deep wing at the bottom, although there is a separate block to work.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying the deep wing should be seeing that at all. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying if we had a best look, I think the deep wing from the bottom would have the best look because he would see inside the angle, have the right inside angle to see that left arm, because that left arm is everything. That left hand and that left arm is every single thing that we need. Because I'm scared that the body. I don't know. I've just seen too many players just use poor technique in trying to defeat a block.
And I think if it was the right hand that was grabbing, you would just see this blocker so much more out of phase and just being all like stretched out with his arms. Because you can't hold on to you can't hold on to that other side of shoulder. I just don't feel like, and that's going to pop more. So this is weird. I mean, it's not really a hook. Is it a grab? I just feel like, okay, I'll go with you. The deep wing has a better angle, but deep wing's not going to be looking there. We would not want the deep wing looking there.
No.
So the mechanics here would be deep wing. If you have to choose between these two blocks, you got to go outside.
That's correct.
You have to go outside in, and the back judge work inside out. These are the right blocks, I feel like, for both of those officials.
Perfect. Exactly. No, the mechanics, flawless.
Yeah.
I would say for the way that we work this play.
Okay. Here's the thing, though. If he feels like the left hand's grabbing and does apply restriction, we've got everything else we need to make a call, because obviously the runner runs right by it. There's significant timing in terms of a delay between when this supposed restriction happens, and we do see evidence of a restriction.
We do.
We do. So I mean, there's a delay between that restriction when the ball becomes dead. Okay, so that's that one.
Hold on, wait, time out. We're not done with that one.
Oh,
your referee loves throwing flags at people.
Yeah.
How would we throw a flag in this instance to avoid players? It's really difficult on the kickoff to. How do we figure out where to throw a flag? Where's a quiet area? What do we think
about? So what did he coach you all at to do? Have a zone or something?
A quiet area. He just kept saying quiet area.
Yeah. But didn't he say like have your default or something? Wasn't there?
Have a spot that we pick out, but this is not this. We don't work. This is not our normal play, Brandon. We work.
I know.
We work 170 scrimmage plays, so that we could easily find a spot.
I know.
We don't work this many kickoffs.
Gosh, we just talked about adjusting our positioning to the kick, so where the players are going to be. So maybe we can get our flag out and just get it out. We don't. It's really pointless for us to try to nail this spot
right
in the X and Y John Roan axes.
Right.
It's really pointless for us. We're just not going to do it. And guess what? If we do, we're going to hit players, and that's what we did here.
Right.
So I think the logo is our reference point. I mean, for this play, and we'll just adjust it. And
guess what, Brandon?
What?
This fouling action occurred outside of position 1.
Well,
right.
Then just maybe get it over to that hash or whatever.
Yeah, like who cares where you throw the ball? You know what a logo is. Who cares where your flag goes?
Yeah.
Get it out, throw it to the middle of the field. Like throw it to Africa where Daniel Young throws his
That's
flag.
where Danny,
Yeah.
But if you do that, make sure you blow a funny whistle so he doesn't confuse the whole crew.
Exactly.
Not that Daniel Young ever did that 10 times that year. And we had to ask him, would you please let us know you have a flag? Because we can't find your flag.
Because we don't know you have a flag. It's in.
That's when I think we became such, promoters of the funny whistle, which is silly to say that, but I mean, it's like, Daniel, where are you? What are you doing?
Right.
We don't know you have a flag. Nobody knows you have a flag. So anyways, no, it was good. We had a good talk with him, and that's why he's not here tonight, because he's suspended. Anyways. Okay. Are you good? I mean, I agree. Just get it out there. You can get to the 30 and then just adjust it, or not even, I mean, I don't know. Yeah. Even if you get it to where the flag lands at the 32. Now he's calling a different block.
He is.
But just get it over there. I think it's okay. But in the moment, man, do we ever want to just launch that sucker?
We want to nail the spot.
Yeah. We hit the guy. We hit our guy with the flag. Could have easily hit his eye, which we don't want to do.
Don't want to do that at all.
Obviously. All right, good. So that was good stuff there. Now this blue circle. Was that a blue circle?
The black circle.
Black circle.
We just did the blue circle. Yeah.
We just did the blue circle. Let's go with the black circle. Okay, so this player is going to, this guy's dropping pretty aggressively. Oh, no, that's the other guy. Whatever. This guy turns around. Okay, let's do the same order because you did a good job there. Sequence-wise, let's do the same order. So mechanically, this is more inside, right?
Yep.
And this is crew of 8. This is crew of 8. So we actually have the advantage of a center judge.
That's correct.
Working in here, and then we already mentioned like the umpire too, and you do actually see 2 flags come in.
Yeah, the umpire threw me 2 flag.
Oh boy, here we go.
All right, I love my umpires, but you know, that's a Me Too flag. That's the definition of a Me Too flag. If you look it up in the dictionary, that's it right there.
Okay, well then let's not talk about the umpire, but let's talk about the center judge. However, we should probably cover crew of 7. But as a center judge, I mean, yes, it's the other block over. Or wait a second, should the center judge go with that deeper block?
I don't know, man. It's so hard. Yeah, it's so hard. Find something to work and work it, and whatever you work, make it make sense. And I think this makes sense from the way the block is setting up. It's pretty much in the middle of the field. There's 2 other blocks to the outside. I know things happen and players are moving. You know, you could imagine that players move around on kickoffs.
Yeah.
I think as this block is setting up, I think there's a great place for the center judge to be looking.
Good, and I would say that if that does materialize into a block at the back, right around the 15, more like the 17 or 18, a little deeper.
Yeah.
Then that should be the referee's
area
of responsibility. Exactly. So that's perfect. Okay, I think mechanically we're good. I mean, I think we're
too.
Good.
I like it.
Good. All right. So
I like the umpire looking there too, to be honest.
I do too.
You know, I know I was messing with the umpire, but I like the umpire looking there because those are inside blocks. He's working inside out, and that's a perfect area for him to be looking as well.
Yep. Very good. Okay. So now let's evaluate this action, these player actions.
Yeah.
Man, this is an interesting one. So
it is.
So hands.
Awful.
He wraps him up.
Let's say it, Brandon. Awful.
His hands aren't great. He wraps him up pretty good. On the other hand, his body positioning is fine.
Perfect.
You know?
Exactly.
So, okay, now we got. But since his hands, we don't love his hands encircling. We just got to decide if this is restriction or if this is just blocking.
Right.
What do you think?
So I would like to know, using his arms, because I think we got to discount the body. If the body is in front of the other body, then you can't be restricting somebody using their body. So the only thing he can really be restricting them with is the arms.
Yeah, which are in bad position.
The arms are in terrible position, but is he really restricting a player who's trying to run through his body?
I know.
And guess what? There's something else to mitigate this whole decision point that we have.
What's that?
There's another 2 dudes who bump all into them.
Right.
As he's bear hugging and picking the dude up off the ground.
That's just an ugly mess right
it's
there.
It's a big ugly mess.
And
yes.
I wonder if we didn't call it, would we think, man, I really missed one here?
Yeah.
You know, after we evaluate it properly. Right. Look, if you have it as restriction, I do think it's close enough and the delay is long enough.
Yes.
Where it would rise to the level of a foul. For me, with everything else, and especially the mitigated like 4-player pileup on Highway 101 right there at the hash mark, I would wonder if I called this and I looked at this, I would wonder if I would want to pass. I think I take a deep breath and pass on this next time.
But let me tell you this: if we're evaluating this and we say, you know what, before the contact with the other players, this dude actually picked the kicking team player up. Well, we know you can't pick a player up, so that is a restrictive action, and then they go to the ground. So if I'm evaluating this, and I first of all, we're gonna see the encircling easy. That's the first thing we're gonna notice. Yeah. And then we notice, wait a minute, he picked this dude up. Well, you can't pick a player up. And then they went to the ground. I think I will be comfortable throwing my flag if I recognize that the receiving team player picked the kicking team player up.
Yeah, that's fair. I just, this is one. Yeah, it's just so ugly. If we're reacting to the poor hands and then the guy getting picked up, if we're just reacting to that, that's
not enough.
And you want to say we can support that or whatever, that's great. But that's not a great process to be really, really effective evaluating these. Even if it is holding, that's not a great process if all we're doing is reacting to that stuff, because we should really think about that along with this other collision, this kind of incidental collision that happens.
Right.
And if we see that and we say, you know what, we can't do that. I'm not doing that today. Then throw the flag, right? Exactly. Then throw the flag if you have to. That's fine.
Yeah. On a play like this, honestly, if I was working back judge, I probably wouldn't throw my flag. If I was working center judge, I probably wouldn't throw my flag. And I probably would be upset with myself for the next 2 quarters, to be honest.
I definitely want to take a note of this one. Oh, I don't want to take a note of both of these blocks if I didn't throw. Of course, if I do throw, I want to exactly write down why I threw.
Correct.
And then we need to match all that back up with our self-eval post-game video review.
Yeah.
Okay, but we do throw. So what do we got to do? We gotta enforce these. We got to enforce these. So let's go. Let's see if I can make this work again. Let's go here. Is that gonna go? What does that look like to you? Does that look okay?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, good. So we had let's see, I got to get all this going and make sure that I know what I'm doing.
We know that's not
Here we go. So at the end of this play, we should have a football right here-ish at that little black tick mark. And we are going to have we are actually going to move this flag. The back judge does a really nice job coming up, even though he hit the player with his flag, and we're going to, make fun of him for that, I guess. We're going to move his flag here. He actually moves his flag here. And then these officials up here get their flags together. And let's not put it there. Let's put it right on the hash. So that's where they put their flags right there.
Okay, on the 30-yard line, and then the back judge has his flag on the 26-yard line.
Really? Is that what it looks like on your screen?
That's what it looks like on my screen.
Interesting.
And then we have the ball down at the 28. That's what I have.
Interesting. So my arrows are a little offset. That's fine. Doesn't matter. Okay. So, and we know that the offense, the receiving team was going the way the arrows are pointing, which is convenient for us.
Yes, that is convenient.
And we also know that the previous spot was way back. Oh, geez, was way back here somewhere, but we don't. Okay, but that's what we know. So which is important, which is definitely important. It was the kickoff, so we know the previous spot is 35-yard line.
Yeah,
way back there.
Yeah,
and that's important. All right, now how do we methodically go through this to figure out the basic spot, the enforcement spot, and everything else?
Well, first we need a funny whistle, as you made sure we understood earlier. We need a funny whistle. We have to have a funny whistle. We can't just because everybody's starting to think about, okay, let me get the ball. Let me make sure we got the ball down at 32. Let's check out these teams, see who are they going to play games with the substitution process. You know, as a referee, I'm starting to think about all that kind of stuff. So I need to be stopped in my tracks and saying, wait a minute, we're not moving on to the next play. So funny whistle, please, please, please. Okay. Then I'm going to see flags all over the place. Once I hear the funny whistle, I can see all those flags. And I'm just going to run down, and hopefully we'll get people to not talk on top of each other. We all have a chance. We wouldn't listen to the back judge and then just ignore the center judge and umpire just because, okay, well, we got information from the back judge. We don't need any more information. So you're going to get a chance to give your information. So let's just relax. But hopefully we get a good foul report let's start with the back judge.
Okay.
I don't know when this occurred. I think it was during the return.
It was hopefully just during the return. Yes.
Okay. Hopefully the back judge says during the return, holding number
87, I think it was.
Okay, 87. During the return, holding number 87. If he hadn't already moved his flag, hopefully he would also say, I need to move my flag.
Which is pretty big here. Because his flag is currently sitting in the 3.
Yes.
And he moves it.
And I'm fine either way. To come
and
report it first or move your flag first. I don't care which one you do. But if you report it first, please say, I need to move my flag because we have to know where we're enforcing this from. Okay, so hopefully we'll do that from the back judge, and then we'll get something similar from the center judge and umpire. They're probably going to be trying to fight each other to report because everybody wants to report the fouls. I don't know why.
And they might even try to talk before the back judge does.
They will try to talk before the
which
back
is fine, but if the back judge is already talking, just don't talk.
Right. Just be quiet and chill and just wait.
Yeah. Okay, the line judge, please put the football down. Please put the football down. I know it's the wrong ball. We're not going to play with that ball next, but let's put the ball down at your spot.
That's a great point.
Put the ball down, especially here, because it's first we got to figure out if we need that spot. And if we do need that spot, then we need that spot. So we need to have a reference point. The flags work as a great reference point. We need a football down.
Right.
At minimum, you need to be standing there. Too many of us leave our spots, and then we just get all confused. Because if we don't move the flag from the 3 back, just like the 29 to the 25, obviously the enforcement's different. Okay, so if both of us report it during the return, then we know the basic spot is the end of the run. And that's the black arrow.
Yep.
Right. And now all we have to do is determine, okay, we know that the foul, both of these fouls are by the team in possession of the football.
Yep.
They're both during this run. We already determined that as basic spot. So now we just look at, okay, this flag is behind the basic spot. This flag is in front of the basic spot. We're enforcing the one from behind the basic spot. So obviously we're going to go back 10 yards this way.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Umpire, your new gig is coming up. Are you marking this off like this and then working into the hash? Or are you going to stand here and go, okay, you're going to do it?
I'm going to the hash and running up the hash. Yeah.
That's what I do. I don't know.
It's just weird to mark it off and then move it laterally. I want to put the ball down when I get to the position after I have enforced the penalty.
Yep. So perfect. So then hopefully the headline judge basically enforces it along with either the umpire or the center judge. Do that the same. Line judge stay, now that once we decide the enforcement spot is the spot of that foul at the 25 or 26, whatever that arrow looks like on your screen, then we want the line judge to move to that spot, move to the enforcement spot. Headline judge, and if I'm saying this wrong, just correct me. But headline judge is going to go with the center judge or the umpire, crew of 8 versus crew of 7. And then the line judge will be that triple check behind, and obviously everybody else owes it to the crew to make sure we're doing everything correct. You good with that?
Yep.
Okay, good. Okay, now how do I get out of here? Let's get out of there. Let's go back. Okay, but we're not done yet. So let's go to a different angle, and this will just be, we'll just kind of put this as play 2 in the replay so it doesn't, cuts it up a little bit. But here we go. So this is really the same play, but now we got the TV copy, and we are going to see a couple things happen with tackling the returner.
Oh.
All right, so we're seeing what we're seeing, right, with these replays?
Yep.
All right, so I have a poll, but not about targeting. Let's go through the targeting process quickly, you and me. Is that cool?
That's good. Yeah, let's do it. Because I know we got other targeting to talk about. Defenseless, no.
He's definitely not defenseless.
No, he's running.
Ball carrier. Okay, good. Now, he may not see it coming, but he's not defenseless. He's a ball carrier. The rules don't allow him to have defenseless player protection as of today. All right, indicator.
So you want me to put myself out there first? Huh? I'm going to be honest. I don't see an indicator.
Really? Okay.
Really. I just don't see an indicator. I know. So we've talked extensively about 913, and the indicator that's attached to 913 is dipping of the head. And we've also talked about dipping of the head not being necessarily attached to the 914 unless the crown of the helmet is used. Whereas it would be 913 and 914. So if I agree with what we've discussed, which I do, then I need to say this is an indicator because he did dip his head right before contact. But it's just really difficult for me to see this as an indicator because he's really just running with his arms out, attempting to wrap up. I just don't see a lot of attacking.
Yeah.
Outside of the normal tackle making.
Yeah, I mean, but you have so many different options in this. I mean, goodness sakes. Yeah. I think with where we're at, I think it is. I think he does line him up.
And I'm fine with that. Yeah, I can't.
This isn't like he lined him up for a second. He lined him up for a millisecond. But he definitely, I do think he dips and attacks with the crown of his helmet.
Yeah.
I think he does. But I see what you're saying. I don't know. I don't know if we can see this in real time on this play.
Yeah.
I just don't know. I don't know. Okay, but so then the forceful component, whether or not you think it's an indicator, we still got to evaluate if it's enough force. So is this enough force?
I think it is significant force, but I'm just confused. I'm not totally sold with the crown and the helmet, believe it or not.
You don't think okay, so there's question in your mind of contact with the crown.
Correct. I halfway think the contact is with the front of the helmet and not the crown of the helmet.
Huh. Okay.
But I could again be convinced otherwise. Because I kind of see the top of his head throughout this whole process. But there is significant force to the head of the other player, and that force was created by the head of the tackling player, who we already said he dipped his head before contact. So I would not stand on a pulpit and say this is not targeting. I would not say that.
But we know how hard these are on the field, and we know that there's replay rules that can help. I guess then based on what I'm hearing you say is Mr. Salam, the replay official, which is, I believe, a one-game career.
No, it was 2 games, 1 day. I did 2 games in 1 day, and
then they changed the locks to the booth. But you would not create targeting.
I would not create targeting on this play. No, I would not. Not on this play.
Okay. You have question on if it's an indicator, and then you have question on the actual contact point.
I do.
Expanded crown. Tell me about that. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, exactly. A couple of years ago, this would be the crown of the helmet.
So the crown has gotten smaller.
It got smaller, and then it got bigger again. It turned into the dot at the top of the head, and now it's back to 6 inches from the top of the head, which I've pretty much debunked as a just factual.
I don't know how helpful that
impossibility. No one's head is 12 inches wide.
Isn't it a diameter?
I thought it was maybe radius, but
radius.
It could be 12. Even a 6-inch diameter is pretty big.
Yeah, if you put a ruler in the middle of the top of your head, that ruler is
it's gonna be hanging off the helmet at 6 inches, which means it's impossible to.
I think we need help there.
Exactly.
Okay. This is an interesting one. I mean, this is an interesting one.
I could tell the Brandon Cruz, the replay official, who's never worked a replay game in his life, would be creating targeting.
You know what's interesting about that? It's pretty easy to say that right now. Yeah. Put yourself in the game, and is it really? I mean, I'm hearing you talk, and I'm like, I kind of see what you're saying. I kind of see what you're saying too, and it's like if there's doubt, you cannot, by rule, create the foul.
And the thing is, I have doubt on 2 elements, Brandon. I don't have doubt on 1 element. I have doubt on 2 elements.
I don't have doubt on the indicator.
Yeah, I know you don't. You're pretty good on the indicator, and I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I
think he attacks with the crown.
There's some pretty hellacious helmet-to-helmet contact, which I know that's not targeting.
Right.
Everybody relax. I get it. I know helmet-to-helmet contact is not what the targeting rule is, but there's some pretty hellacious helmet-to-helmet contact. And I don't think there's any coach that would argue that this is not a hit that we want in the game.
Right. Okay. Well, let's fire up the let's fire it up here and say this. We're going to call it, and we know from the previous looks that we called 2 holding fouls, right?
Oh, boy.
So we called 2 holding fouls. We already went through that process, but now the replay official adds this.
Okay.
We got to enforce that.
We do.
And hang on. So the holds were by the red team, and this targeting that the replay official is by the white team. So fouls by both teams. Look at the poll options here. There were 2 fouls for OH by the receiving team called on the field. There was a foul for targeting by the kicking team that was added by the replay official. So what is the proper enforcement? What is the proper enforcement? And I just realized there's an option missing. No, there's not an option missing. There's a potential option that we could have put in here, but it would have been wrong, so don't worry about it. And A says this: fouls offset, replay the kickoff only option. B says enforce one of the penalties for OH, which we already know which one that would be because we went through it. Decline the targeting, receiving team's ball 1st and 10. It's B. C says fouls offset, place the ball at the spot of an OH foul. Receiving team's ball 1st and 10. D says fouls offset, place the ball at the end of the run. Receiving team's ball 1st and 10. All of these could make logical sense in some way, potentially. Yes. But only, well, there's only really one right answer by rule.
Normally we don't even know or have right answers on these polls.
I think I admitted this. I don't know if you were here. Was that last week or 2 weeks ago? Whatever. I admitted that the poll questions I've been trying to write lately have been ones because I literally don't know the answer.
Right.
And I've been trying to find the answer out through the platform of writing a poll.
But you also slandered me as you were making that statement. Which is why you've been contacted by my lawyer.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Must have got lost in the mail. I don't check my mail. You might want to have them.
Okay. Well, we'll get the sheriff's department to knock on the door.
Is postal mail, and I don't mean to offend our mail carriers for sure, but
it's still a thing. Yes, it is.
But is it valuable? That's my real question.
It's trash. It's 100% trash. Keisha goes to the box. We have a post office box. We live in an apartment, so there's the box downstairs. Yeah. And she always wants to go to the box. I'm like, why?
I know.
Well, we might have something and the only thing we have in there is trash.
Flyers.
100% trash.
Credit card applications.
Please stop.
Like they want me to apply for more credit cards. That's what I need.
Right.
They want me to come get the recliner at the furniture store. I see that a lot, I think. And cars, vehicles, they want you to get a new car, which I get it. I know they want you to get all that stuff, but I don't know why. I think my mailman hates me because our mailbox, it eventually just doesn't close. And that's the trigger for me to empty it. It's just, okay. Sorry. I don't know how I got on that topic. Oh yeah, your subpoena or whatever you call that is lost in the mail. All right, let's go. Let's try to get this thing enforced. So I'll start lowest. 5% said fouls offset, place the ball at the spot of an OH foul, receiving team's ball 1st and 10. So that would be correct if it was a different level of football, but not college football, right? So I don't know what rules you're starting with here in a couple of weeks, but you probably want to know that one.
Yes.
We don't do that. We don't do that in college football. There's some logic behind that option, and I understand maybe why we voted there, 5% of us, but that's not how the rules don't provide for that option.
Correct.
Okay. Then 19% said fouls offset, place the ball at the end of the run, receiving team's ball 1st and 10. Okay, so that would only be true if they were dead ball or non-player fouls.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
Yeah.
We can't offset live ball fouls and take the results of the play.
Exactly. I don't think that's possible at all, ever.
No.
To have an offset. Yeah, because that would really be penalties canceling. And that's not, these are live ball fouls. These are live ball fouls. So D, we don't have that provided in the rules for live ball fouls. B says enforce one of the penalties for OH, decline the targeting, and it's the receiving team's ball 1st and 10. Okay, so let me just let's put that one on the shelf for a second. A says fouls offset. By the way, 19% said B. 57% said fouls offset, replay the kickoff only option. So is it the only option? Obviously, that's an option. These are 2 live ball fouls. They can offset. Is it the only option? And how do we know?
So the question becomes, did the team in possession of the ball, last in possession of the ball,
yes,
which will be the receiving team, did they foul prior to gaining possession of the ball, or did they foul after gaining possession of the ball?
Right. Did they gain the ball with clean hands?
Clean hands, basically. Correct.
That's it. And since these holds take place during the return, which we already went through, and we had great reports, right? We had great mechanics, and hopefully we had great reports. Then we know the receiving team has clean hands, right, which means that when there's fouls by both teams and there was a change of possession, the receiving team has the power.
Correct.
The receiving team has the power. They can either accept offsetting fouls
and replay the down.
Replay the down, which would be re-kicking.
Yes.
Or they can decline offsetting fouls, knowing that they're going to get the ball, but their penalty is going to be enforced.
Have to enforce their penalty. Correct.
Yeah. So this would be an option for them since they had clean hands.
Right. But we know, when we did the original enforcement, we would have been up at the 15-yard line. Team B is not going to want to play 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line. I wouldn't think.
Maybe not. I mean, I doubt it. I don't know. But just from the rules and the polling,
they do have that option.
A said only option on fouls offset. So, no, it's not the only option. We got to remember, and I think it's very hard on a kickoff because if there's no PSK, right? Kickoff, we got to basically treat exactly. We got to be absolute on kickoffs in terms of if we're saying the foul occurred during the kick, then they don't have clean hands. If we're saying the foul occurred during the return, they do have clean hands.
They do have clean hands.
B's foul.
Correct.
And then we got to know, and this is easy to mess up. It just feels like an automatic offset here. And I think the receiving team's probably going to take offset re-kick. I think so, to your point. But, make this a longer return and put these fouls more like at the 50, marching it back to the 40. We would want to definitely give them the option.
Correct.
To take the ball.
Correct.
Decline offsetting fouls, take the ball. And the targeting, obviously the player who committed targeting is still out, even though that
still has to go. Yeah, we got to make sure we understand that. Decline, especially if we're talking to a coach. A coach may say, no, I don't want to decline that. I want him out of here. Well, he's going to be out of here anyway, whether we enforce it or decline it. Offset it or decline it. Let me say that.
Yeah. So this is a real good one. I mean, I think it's really hard to navigate in the moment because we're going to go ahead and process these holding fouls.
Yes.
We didn't call targeting on the field. Replay adds it. Now we got to put everything back together. It's like we got to start over once replay adds the targeting foul because that's a live ball foul.
Okay, so Brandon, this is what I would like if I was working this game.
Okay.
We're lined up, we're ready to go, we get paged. We're ready to go 1st and 10 at the 15 or whatever it was that 15. We ended up putting the ball down. Yep. We get paged. Replay says we're looking at a potential targeting.
Mm-hmm.
I think we need to know whether we're looking at targeting on the kicking team or targeting on the receiving team, right? That's kind of important, huh?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, because if we're talking about targeting on the receiving team, well, that's easy. We're just going to back up half the distance to the goal. And there's really no options to give. Well, actually, no, that's not true.
Maybe. I mean, we don't know. We would just have to run it through. Yeah, we'd have to run it through basic spot and all that stuff. Yeah,
okay, it's not easy. Okay. But there's no real options that we have to talk about. But if we're talking about targeting on the kicking team, now we do have something to talk about with the team B coach.
Yeah, it changes everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
So as we're sitting there, we need to start processing all of that. Once replay tells us we're looking at potential targeting, I would like to ask them, and I don't know, hopefully replay will be savvy enough to say targeting on the kicking team or targeting on like the tackle when they tackled the runner, the dude got targeted. Something to the effect where we would understand what team could potentially have a targeting foul on them. Because now we got to start processing all this stuff.
Yeah, that's a good point. So while the review's taking place, like
yes,
we're looking at targeting on the kicking team player. So now we know we can start having that preemptive conversation with the receiving team head coach.
Correct.
So comment in the chat, there is no PSK on a free kick. This means that B cannot decline A's foul to retain possession. So it's true. There's no PSK on a free kick. Totally agree with that. But that's why we went through the exercise in the first segment with those coaching view tape, like coaching tape views, right? To work through enforcing that penalty. If we know that it's during the run, then we just need to work through. The presence of a team A foul doesn't change it doesn't change our process of enforcing team B fouls. And if they have clean hands, we just enforce team B fouls. At least that's an option, right? That's an option. So the presence of that team A foul, this is the way I think about it, doesn't change anything. It just creates new options, but we still do our fundamental penalty enforcement process. So I just think this is confusing because there's no PSK on a kickoff, but that really only applies to what? The ball being in the air. Fouls during the kick.
Correct.
PSK is fouls during the kick, and it's absolutely true to say there's no PSK on a kickoff. Absolutely true. But this turns into just a simple running play.
Correct.
These holds are fouls during a run. It's a foul during a run.
That's it.
Basic spot, end of the run, is the spot of the foul by the team possession. Is that behind? Okay, we go from that spot. If it's not behind, then we go from the end of the run. And, okay, now add the team A foul. Okay, that's offsetting fouls. But if B wants to keep the ball, decline offsetting fouls, and just go back into that process of enforcing the holds that we already took care of.
Yes.
So, I mean, I don't know. It's to me, it's overly complicated, but that we gotta. It doesn't matter because we got to do it.
This will be a tough announcement coming out of replay too.
Whew.
After
and that's if you even know.
Yeah. Well,
if you even know what B's gonna do.
Oh, that's a great point.
Just say they're gonna just. Yeah, I mean,
I want to make one announcement, Brandon. I don't want to make a bunch of announcements.
But you know what you don't want to have to do?
Run back and forth on camera.
Exactly.
Which is going to happen.
Think about this. So how optically you take your headset off and you run over to B's coach.
I know.
I mean, I just doesn't.
That looks bad.
Everybody's like, come on, guys, we've been in review forever.
Right.
You're not going to tell us if it's targeting. Like, what? Come on.
So then what do you say, Brandon? What do we say?
After reviewing the play, it's been determined there was targeting by number 27. We will ask Fresno State about penalty enforcement options and then just get into it. I've done that before. I've done that on a 10-second runoff.
Yeah.
I'm not sure it's good. Like, I get it, but I don't know.
But I think it's better. We can't come out of the review and not say anything. We can't come out of the review and just start running around to both sidelines looking like a clown. And it's like we haven't even said anything. It's like, come on, man. What are you doing?
All right. Cool.
So
that was good.
I need to practice.
That was good. The poll, practice that one. Let us know. The poll results give us an opportunity to get a little bit better on this, right? This is a double foul situation with a change of possession. The team last in possession's clean. Their foul occurred after the change, so they have options. They can keep the ball. And they can also offset and replay the down, and we're good with it. Okay. What now? You want to go We've got some intentional grounding in here. We've got
let's play around with intentional grounding. Yeah, let's do that.
All right, here we go. Let's
intentional grounding is one of those fouls that it's really fascinating to me.
Yeah.
We're gonna add a poll, of course.
Okay. Middle Tennessee State, right?
Yeah, I think they took the state off for some reason. It's just Middle Tennessee.
Oh. Well,
it's weird. It's like, come on, man. And you see Coach Rich Rodriguez, he's the Team A coach. He's saying there's a receiver right there. And there was a receiver right there. So we need to know, what is the line of scrimmage official supposed to tell the referee? That there was a receiver in the area? Or should he tell him there's no receiver in the area? Should he tell him the pass crossed the line of scrimmage? Should he tell him the pass did not cross the line of scrimmage? We can see the ball bounced and would have gone beyond the line of scrimmage extended, except the chain dude decided to hit the ball. So you can see the ball was gone past the line of scrimmage extended on the bounce. So did the pass cross the line of scrimmage or not? Should the line of scrimmage official say, hey, man, there was a receiver in the area, but the pass did not cross the line of scrimmage? Or does he need to say there was a receiver in the area and the pass crossed the line of scrimmage? Or just, man, this one is obvious. The referee should be able to handle it on his own. Don't bring any information to
it. Oh, man.
And then we also, Brandon, I want to get into the contact on the quarterback. We have another couple angles on this play, and I want to get into that after we discuss this intentional grounding concept, which is fascinating to me, as I mentioned already.
Mm-hmm. And so I know the poll alludes to the line of scrimmage official. What about deep wing?
Absolutely. Deep wing can always bring information. Back judge can bring information. We saw Daniel do that in the game. Anybody who has information can bring information. The question is, what information are they going to bring, on a play like this? I think that's Murfreesboro, Tennessee, if I'm not mistaken.
That's what?
Murfreesboro, Tennessee. I think that's
really
where Middle Tennessee is. Yeah. Oh, Jeremy's asking, what about no wide receiver in the area and the ball did not cross the line? Okay, that's an option. I guess Jeremy has a write-in vote.
Write-in vote. Yeah.
That always seems kind of weird to me that in America in 2024 we can have write-in votes.
Well, you vote with a pen. I mean, that's. Oh, I don't know, dude. Oh, man.
Are you sold on the Aaron Rodgers ticket, Brandon?
I don't.
I'm a person who knows nothing about current events, but it was on ESPN feed. So, of course, I only look at sports.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was on the ESPN feed. Something about, all right, I'm about to embarrass myself. One of the Kennedys.
Kennedy, yeah.
He was talking about
teaming
up with Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, okay. So that was the source. See, I heard about that, and I was like, who's this coming from? I mean, come on.
Yeah, well, it was on ESPN.
I guess if there would be anybody to do it, it'd be him.
Yeah. Let's see what the poll is looking like. Okay. That's good enough. That's good enough.
Let's do it. What about your right end?
Yeah, I know.
Jeez.
Well, we can't even do the math on this. Look at a couple more votes are coming in.
Okay. What do you mean we can't do the math?
No, I can't do the math on this.
Oh, well, I don't think we're the capable mathematicians for
I am. Oh, easy.
Well, you just said you can't do it.
I was being facetious.
Oh. The suspense is killing me. I don't struggle with math. Here we go.
All right. There we got.
Well, you had some voters abstaining because the writing capability
just
doesn't exist. So
All right. So I don't even know how to do percentages when we throw in write-in votes. So we'll just we'll just acknowledge the write-in votes and say thank you.
You don't count.
No, we may need to file those votes on the side.
Oh yeah, we'll use them if we want to, rig the outcome.
Yeah, if we want to rig the results.
We need a couple more points, basis points, or whatever they call that. Okay.
So intentionally, we cut this video to show the coach because we have to have this conversation with the coach, right? The coach, whatever we decide, the coach is going to say something. So we're going to have a good way of explaining our thought process. 36% of us say the line of scrimmage official should come in and say there was a receiver in the area, but the pass did not cross the line of scrimmage. Okay. All right, that's interesting. 32% of us say just come in and say the pass did not cross the line of scrimmage.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay, so I do know that 68% feel the pass did not cross the line of scrimmage so far.
Right. But we don't know 32% that did say the pass did not cross the line of scrimmage. We don't even know what their opinion is of the receiver in the area because they just said,
well, that's where your write-in vote. That's where your write-in vote.
Right.
That's where your write-in vote potential is.
Okay, 18% of us say just come in and say there's no receiver in the area. All right.
Okay.
5% of us say, 9. Let me go to the 9% say there was a receiver in the area and the pass crossed the line of scrimmage. That's interesting. Okay. And then 5% of us say come in and say, look, there was a receiver in the area. So 14% of us say there was, nope. 50% of us say there was a receiver in the area.
Oh. All right.
And 60, and what did you say, 68? So that'd be 32% of us say the pass did not cross the line of scrimmage.
Right.
So depending on who's working this game from the peer officiating community, we're all over the place. We might have a flag, we might not have a flag.
And we got people blazing their own trails with write-in votes.
Oh my God. Yeah, exactly.
It might be okay though.
Right.
All right.
So what's important on intentional grounding considerations from everybody except the referee, Brandon?
Receiver in the area.
So if there's a receiver in the area, does it matter what the pass if the pass crosses the line of scrimmage or not? No. It literally doesn't matter. If we have a receiver in the area, it doesn't matter what a ball is it relative to the line of scrimmage. So we don't even have to think about that. And that's what's really interesting about these type of situations. Let's not overcomplicate things. Let's not put too much in our brains. If we say there's a receiver in the area, we're done. We're literally done.
Yep.
Because you can't have intentional grounding if there's an eligible receiver in the area of the pass, period. By rule, you cannot. So if we judge that there was a receiver in the area, we don't even need to think about the line of scrimmage. So let me ask you this, Brandon. How do we judge it for receivers in the area?
Wow.
Because I heard you talk about numbers, and if he's outside the numbers, put him in the area, and the ball, and trajectory, and
So direction and vicinity.
Okay.
We need direction and vicinity. We open up vicinity. We open up vicinity when players are outside the numbers, but that's really when the ball is thrown over their head.
Over their head, exactly.
Yeah. If it's thrown short,
come on.
I don't want to open up vicinity. That's bailing the quarterback out, isn't it?
I think so.
If he can get the ball over the guy's head, then I'm good with expanding the whatever your threshold for vicinity, right? Or I mean, that's really a synonym for in the area.
Right.
But we're just talking about, I mean, think direction and vicinity. So is this in the direction?
No. I don't even have it in the direction.
It's not in the direction.
No.
This guy was way down here and he threw the ball out laterally. Didn't and I mean he couldn't even get it back to the line of scrimmage.
Well, we can get
not that I really care about that, but I mean just observationally as a line judge here, the ball lands to my left, and I do need to index where that guy is to my right, the eligible receiver.
Right.
And I gotta go a few yards, more than a few yards to find him.
So how do you work that?
Left.
How do you work that? You see the ball and then you look for the dude, or you see the dude and then look for the ball? So. How do you do that?
Oh, I'd want to see the football. And then
then you look around and you're like, who the hell is over here?
Yeah. And now the risk there is that, the player's going to keep moving. Player's going to keep moving towards you. So we can't. And so they're going to gain a few yards on us just observationally, which I think is fine.
Right.
Which I think is fine, because I do think if if we have doubt, we're probably putting him in the area. If it's close, we usually bail him out.
Sure.
But I don't think this is. I mean, I don't think, and I know that we've talked about numbers, but again, that's when if we can get the ball over his head outside the numbers, I'm fine with opening up the vicinity part of the equation.
Right.
A lot to put him in the area, but this isn't over his head.
Right.
This is
good. Okay, so as a line of scrimmage official, I'm standing there. I'm like, this dude ain't in the area. Right. Great. Are we done yet?
No.
So if he is in the area, we're done.
We're done.
If he's not in the area, then we got more work to do.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's really important for us to consistently reinforce, because this type of action, the referee is going to have no idea of anything that you're even talking about, because the quarterback is getting hit. He has to watch the quarterback. He's already processing, is this dude in the pocket? Is he out of pocket? But everybody downfield, that's none of your business. You don't need to think about that. All you need to think about is there a receiver in the area? If your answer is no, then you got more work to do. If your answer is yes, you're done. Go to the referee or point, or whatever you're on your crew, however you all communicate that there's a receiver in the area. If he's not in the area, the next thing we need to know is, did the pass cross the line of scrimmage? Because if a quarterback is outside of the pocket, they get to legally ground the ball if the pass goes beyond the line of scrimmage.
Okay, so here's my question for you on this setup, because I think the write-in pollsters, who we had a couple of them, that's what they were trying to put it all together at the same time.
Right.
Are you suggesting, maybe this is your preference, you just want the line of scrimmage official to go sequentially? So
I do.
Talk about in the area. So just say there's nobody in the area. Okay. Then are you, as the referee, going to say, okay, well, he's out of the pocket. Did the ball cross the line?
No.
Okay.
So I want
this is where your write-in pollsters. This is where your write-in pollsters are coming from.
But this is what I want from the line of scrimmage official: awareness of what information is relevant and valid that needs to be brought to the referee. If they know that there's a receiver in the area, there's no other information that needs to be brought to the referee. If they know a receiver is not in the area, then they do need to bring additional information to the referee. So they process that, then run in, tell the referee, look, there's no receiver in the area. And then we need to talk about our evaluation on the ball crossing or not crossing, which was I think that was Jeremy's write-in vote. Is that correct?
That was his write-in vote.
Exactly. The poll writers did not do a very good job of putting the correct answer or
but that's okay, though.
Possible answers in here.
Well, but that's good effort. So, okay, I just wanted to clarify, because I almost thought you were setting up the flow of communication, because remember, communication is a transaction.
Yes. You're going to stop using that unless you compensate me every time you speak of the transaction.
Right. So actually, I thought what you were going to offer is that what you like to do is just first get a report of in the area or not, and then maybe like you ask the next question.
No.
Okay. Okay, so you're good with this line of scrimmage officials giving you both elements.
Yes, if both elements are relevant. I don't need two.
Don't tell me don't tell me he's in the area and the pass crossed or the pass didn't cross. If he's in the area, we don't need to talk about it.
We don't need to talk about any of that other stuff.
Now, for your own process, yes, we need to locate if the pass crossed or not, because that's just for our own process. But we don't need to report that.
Correct.
If we're saying the guy's in the area.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So, did this pass cross the line of scrimmage or not, Brandon?
No.
But it hit the dude at the sticks.
On the bounce.
On the bounce. So we're going to be really – how strict are we going to be with that pass crossing the line of scrimmage?
We talked about this several sessions ago, like a long time ago.
Yeah.
There was something that was said a long time ago about a healthy yard, give them a healthy yard, which I think you disagreed with wholeheartedly, which I understand.
Totally.
I think that was more of a like if we just don't know for whatever reason the pass comes in weird or something, and it's like, oh man, I guess that's within 5 feet, we can give it to him. But here, I don't think we need that. I mean, it lands right at our feet in terms of like it's not we see this ball coming.
Yes.
I mean, this pass does not catch us off guard. This is a yard and a half short where it bounced.
Exactly.
That's obvious.
It's obvious.
That's obvious. Very obvious.
We can't. I don't think we can be expanding this and just being generous. There's no. This ain't charity. I don't know what. No. I mean, come on. It either passed across the line of scrimmage or it didn't. This pass, like you're saying, it bounced a yard and a half short. This did not cross the line of scrimmage.
That's right.
So Jeremy's coming in with his write-in vote, and he's going to tell me there was no receiver in the area and the pass didn't cross the line of scrimmage, which is great because I do honestly need both of those pieces of information because then I got to say, ooh, it doesn't matter.
Well, you know what that buys you out of making this difficult pocket determination.
It does. And guess what? As a referee, it's difficult for me to shut my other process off because I'm sitting there, and we had this in a game last year. I wasn't even listening to the line of scrimmage official who was telling me those two pieces of information. He said the pass didn't get to the line of scrimmage and there was no receiver in the area. And I'm busy talking to the center judge about did the dude get out the pocket?
Right.
And I wasn't listening.
Knowing that.
Yeah. And this is why umpires are really cool. Our umpire, everybody knows Bill Bishop. He basically he verbally smacked me and said, "Hey, there was no receiver in the area, and the pass didn't get to the line of scrimmage." I was like, "Oh, well, this doesn't matter." Worried about the pocket. And
so then on that one, right? Okay, perfect. But then you know how we like to get all complicated with our intentional grounding announcements. So did you go into all that, or did you just say it was in the area?
Intentional grounding.
Or just intentional grounding. Okay. So in other words, the write-in pollsters schooled you on this play.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh well.
Yeah.
You're just checking to see if anybody's awake, man. I mean.
So from a pre-snap routine standpoint, though, I think first of all, we do a good job putting this ball down in a position. The ball is clearly in position number 4.
Yes. Excellent.
The right tackle's right foot is right at the hash. We can it's perfect. Oh my God, that's perfect. So we can use that in our pre-snap routine to mark the pocket. And we know if this quarterback gets near that hash mark, we're going to put him out because he's right there. He's at the edge.
If he gets near,
or
if he gets, because I know it doesn't matter on this play because if we don't have the receiver in the area, this is, and we already know that Jeremy's writing in that the ball didn't cross, so we get lucky here. We don't have to our ruling of in or out of the pocket does not impact the ultimate ruling on this play.
Correct.
But again, we get process-wise, boy, we better be on this one because it could.
Yes, but so for me, the right tackle's right foot is on the inside part of that hash.
Okay.
So if that quarterback gets to that hash and throws the ball, I'm putting him out the pocket.
Okay. So this quarterback's out of the pocket?
I have him out of the pocket. I do.
Okay.
You obviously don't like that.
I'm okay. I'm okay.
He throws the ball from on the hash. So that means
his right foot gets on the hash.
Well, his arm and everything is on the hash.
Well, do you use his release point or where his feet are? And please,
I like the release point.
No. Stop.
What I'm looking at his whole body, and really I know where the ball is coming from. I like the release point though.
I'm gonna have a general indication of where his feet are, and I think we use that.
Okay, I'm good with that too.
But I guess I've never thought to myself, okay, he was here.
It's all the same.
Well, usually it is.
Unless
that's what I'm saying. That's why I just use the feet. That's why I just use the feet. I mean, the release point. What is that?
Yeah, well, his release is over his right foot. If you want to get really technical about it, his release is over his right foot. So if his right foot gets to the hash, which in this case he jumped right before he threw the ball, I'm just putting this dude out.
Okay. Let me just look at this for a second.
It's close, but I'm gonna put him out. I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt.
I think in real time I would not put him out.
You would not put him out.
I think he goes back deep and not really. He doesn't really angle out. I mean, he doesn't really try to escape the pocket that much.
Well, let me ask you this: are you using that hash in your pre-snap routine?
Yes. So yes, if I get his foot on the hash, I agree with you. I haven't seen a shot that I'm convinced his foot is on the hash. I just know this is really close, and his body, his escape route is more vertical, deep in the pocket than I wish he would have done a little more horizontal.
I'm agreeing with you totally on that, Brandon, because the way that he does attempt to avoid the pressure is weird. It's straight backwards almost.
That's my thing, and I hope I have if he gets that foot to the hash, I hope I have that wherewithal to notice that. I'm not convinced it's there. I think that right foot's inside the hash.
Well, let me ask you this. Do you see him jumping before he released the ball?
I see him jumping, but I don't think I'm going to really
You don't care about that?
in. I mean, I probably should, but I'm not.
You should, yeah.
I got so much other stuff going on, which I know we're going to talk about. This guy gets to the quarterback too, and, so I think I got this guy in the pocket.
Okay. So then that information that's coming to you is really important. If they come to you and say, hey, the pass crossed the line of scrimmage.
Oh yeah, if they say the pass crossed the line on the bounce.
Yeah.
I just want to reiterate, look, if he gets that right foot in the hash, I've got him out if I see that.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you, on the field, the way he stutter steps and is going so vertical on the field rather than he's going north-south and not as east-west, I might perceive him to really not get too lateral out of the pocket and put him in there.
Yeah.
And I don't know why we're moving at all. I guess
I was about to ask.
Even I have had these conversations a lot, and
I
would ask him if we were way back in the day before he became such a big shot. When we were on the field at camps together, I would ask him, "Why are you moving here?" I don't think we would want to move.
It certainly would skew your ability to evaluate because this is so close to in or out of the pocket.
Yeah.
I think whatever movement you make, you've lost all reference to what happened with the play because the movement is really going to throw your brain into a scramble.
Yeah. And then and just looking at the movement here. I think that looking at this movement real quick, I think that this backing out at a 45 from the referee position, unless our personal space is threatened.
Yes.
Unless our personal space is threatened, backing out at a 45 does me zero. I just can't imagine backing out at a 45 does me really any good. Does it? Am I off base there?
Well, I'm not the person to ask because I'm pretty much a statue on play. I don't move at all.
Like on this play, I might take one little step to the right just because they're kind of coming this way. I might just take a little bit of a step to the right and I'm going to finish this play basically even with them on about the same yard line, I feel like.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And
okay, so we're seeing other angles, Brandon. There's this concept called matching the hand. That I know some folks have probably heard it. There's primarily an NFL concept. I think we can use some of those principles to evaluate. We don't have matching the hand in NCAA, but we can use those principles to evaluate potential roughing the passer actions as well. So can you explain what matching the hand means and what we see on this particular play?
So matching the hand is an attempt. It's a bona fide attempt by the defender to block the pass, meaning he's going to try to, and it usually, if it's a right-handed quarterback, it's usually the left hand of the defender. I don't think that's absolute. I'm a little bit confused on all that because I kind of got chastised for something last year about it. But I feel like it's usually the left hand that would match a quarterback's right hand. But of course, it can be different. I don't want to be absolute with that.
Right.
But it's almost like the quarterback and the defensive end up giving a high five, or it's almost like and usually it's a missed high five, you know, like, you know how like you're kind of a nerd and you would miss the high five, you know, the nerds like you got, like you always miss high fives, you know?
Yes. And look goofy. Yes.
Yeah. So then we miss a high five and there might be some helmet contact.
Right.
But if we determine it was a matching the hand concept, meaning we're going to put weight on the fact that he really just is blocking the pass and then incidentally hits the helmet of the quarterback. And even though, now he doesn't have license to just kill the quarterback in the head, even though he's trying to block the pass.
Right.
But we're going to determine it incidental since that level of force really isn't there.
Right.
And say, well, he's matching the hand, and yes, he hit the quarterback in the head potentially, but we're not gonna call roughing the passer.
Right.
That's a half-baked explanation.
So in an NCAA perspective, using those similar principles, what we would be looking for is a secondary overt act that causes forcible contact to the quarterback's head and neck area from those hands that are raised. If the defender is really just having his hands raised and he follows through, and yes, there's some contact to the quarterback's head, then we would evaluate that similarly to what Brandon is saying from a matching the hand perspective and say, well, he was just trying to block the pass. He wasn't doing anything overt or secondary in nature to hit the quarterback in the head or neck area forcefully.
Yeah, perfect.
So let me ask you this, Brandon. So matching the hand is a high contact concept, correct?
Yes.
So can we match the hand and then forcefully push the quarterback in the chest area after we finish matching the hand?
Well, then I feel like then we're just go into a different subcategory. And we're into the unnecessary avoidable second act.
Exactly.
Yes.
So we can't just bail defenders out and say, his hands come down from trying to block the pass, and then he pushes the quarterback to the ground. We can't just say, well, he was matching the hand, or we're evaluating that as just trying to block the pass. We can't do that.
Exactly.
And what we see on this particular play, and I think the graphics department deserves like some really good credit. Ooh. At the end of the play, there's some really good slow-mo, and we can see the left hand really doesn't even touch the quarterback, and the right hand hits the quarterback in the shoulder area. And we need to have that level of detail, and it's beautiful. The center judge is totally focused on that. So if you're a center judge or an umpire in the backfield, look at the focus by the center judge.
And that's all perfect.
Yes.
Look at that. And see, I prefer that movement over what we see from our white hat.
Yes. Yes.
And I love that. We just turn our hips and get that. Now here's perfect. So for matching the hand, the right hand is not matching the hand. Even though it goes up there, that's not a matching the hand technique.
Because the hand of the quarterback is on the other side of his body. Is that why?
Yeah, and again, yes, and you can definitely try to match. I feel, and I think that I got some disagreement on this, but I feel you can try to match the hand with the opposite hand going across the body. It's just not as prevalent.
Well, in this situation, the quarterback has his whole body turned. It's not like he's facing number 7 where they're head up. And you've also talked about the concept of the whole man.
Yeah.
If there's the whole man, then maybe the right hand could be trying to match the hand. But if we only have a piece of the man, then we can't match the right hand.
Yeah. Yep. And so then with a hand that's not matching the hand, and that delivers some forcible contact to the helmet, we're going to be a little more tight.
Correct.
Tight and a little more unforgiving of that force to the quarterback's helmet if there's no matching the hand concept involved.
Right.
Whereas if there is matching the hand, we're going to say, okay, we see you hit the quarterback in the head. It's just not we're going to give you a little grace on, and it's kind of forceful. We're going to give you a little grace there because you were matching the hand.
Right.
That's how that plays out. Now, again, that's not matching the hand is not licensed to smoke the quarterback in the head. If there's force that rises to the level of foul, it's a foul. But we use all this other stuff probably to overcomplicate it. However, no, I mean, we use it to try to put these player actions, common player actions, into categories. And a defender batting a pass, trying to knock a pass down, is a very common action.
Correct.
You know, so we definitely, it's very, we get a lot of mileage with these little subcategories of player actions that we can create.
Right.
Well, I didn't create anything that we can attempt to learn and interpret in real action. It's really helpful.
Okay, so Brandon, I'm trying to figure out, does this dude match the hand? Okay, cool. No contact. Now all of a sudden, I forgot to think about the pocket. And now we have some dude coming running at me. He never blew a funny whistle. And he just comes running at me saying something about
you got a
player or some crap. And I don't even know what he's talking about because I'm thinking about, did I miss a roughing the passer?
It's funny because you could see the line judge's whistle dangling from his neck.
Yeah.
And so, you're thinking about all this, and all of a sudden he shows up on your doorstep.
Right.
With all
and that's kind of what Matthew's question is.
Yep.
How are we supposed to evaluate the pocket and evaluate this defender who's harassing our quarterback? Especially when we don't have a concept that we may even need the pocket on this play.
For sure. Well, I think we have to. So crew of 7 umpire in the backfield, get involved in this. Crew of 8, obviously, with a center judge. I do want this to be a partnership here.
Good. Yes.
Right. And so this is a panicked quarterback. Panicked quarterback. When we have panicked body language, yes, we have to evaluate roughing the passer. We have got to start thinking about all our elements for intentional grounding, which the pocket's one of them, you know? And I mean, we got to think about contact that affects the pass and the timing of that. We got to think about all that, and we got to evaluate roughing the passer. Nobody said it's easy, but I like what Matthew's saying. I do want to get my eyes to the defender, you know, as he puts his hands up like that. That's body language that suggests that category of roughing the passer that we already talked about is the one that's going to happen if it's going to happen. I mean, if it's a second act, we'll see that too, but I don't, you see what I'm saying? I'm putting my eyes on the defender. I'm putting my eyes on the defender.
Yep.
And then peripherally indexing the quarterback's location. And when I have this, I want to, which of course, if we end up calling roughing the passer, this is going to be hard. If I have this, though, I want to actually physically move to the spot of where I think he threw the ball from to help me with the pocket.
Well, and this is the beauty of working as a partnership. That center judge is probably going to have a better perspective of where he released that pass than you are as a referee.
Right.
So hopefully when we're working as a team, that center judge will be moving his way, matriculating his way on towards where that release point was. Because obviously there's a lot to think about on this play. My goodness.
Mm-hmm.
So if we're working together as a team, umpire in the backfield as well. I'm sorry.
Yep, exactly.
If we're working together as a team, we should be able to index this point pretty well. If we're way off, hopefully, if you work in a game with replay will come on and give you some help on where the spot was. If we're way off, but if we're close enough, replay. Please just keep eating your donuts and whatever else you're eating up there. Just leave us alone. I don't want to get into all that. I think that replay's got a lot of judgments to make with objective information. Let's not substitute judgment here for something else. And I know if it's egregious and they're like, what the heck are they talking about? He threw it from the numbers and you're putting him in the pocket. I guess that's something, but. Oh, I was talking about the actual yard line.
Okay. Okay.
No. Not helping with the pocket. If replay helps me with the pocket, I will break my own tool on the field, in the middle of the field.
Pull the cord out. Yeah. Oh,
yeah,
the battery. Sorry. Yeah. Oh, earpiece malfunction.
Yeah. We're not doing that.
I personally, as a referee, would love everything possible from the center judge.
Yes.
I have him in the pocket or I have him out of the pocket. What about you?
Yes.
And if I say the opposite, let's just talk, you know. And I mean, I know like the crew I work on now, referee, you know, I'm going to give that information, and you know, it's a little intimidating to start with doing that. But now it's just like, yeah. And if I get overruled, he overrules me, it's fine, but I'm going to give the information. I'm not going to leave that. Right. I'm not going to leave that alone.
Yep.
You know, and that's like, I had Marvell July. Marvell would beat the line judge here. Marvell right. doesn't even move fast, for all you that know Marvell. He literally doesn't run at all on the field, and he's a center judge. It's hilarious. But he would beat the line judge here because he would be so eager to give this information.
Yep.
He's in the pocket, or he would say, he's out of the pocket. And I was like, Marvell, he's in the pocket. And he would say, okay, do what you want. He's usually right. Oh, shoot.
Yeah. All right. Well, good. This was a good discussion.
Very good. I want to do one more because this is a great play.
Good. Let's do it.
Great play. And
so we only did 2 plays today.
Well, this is technically play 4. The first play we split into 2.
Yeah. Well, we kind of did the split the second 2.
We did.
Well. So this is play 5. Let's do play 5.
Lots of concepts.
Oh,
okay. We got holding.
Oh, yeah.
That's a great call.
Yep, that's easy.
And then we've got an interception.
Holy crap.
And we've got chaos.
Yes.
So really solid job by the referee calling holding. Now look at the referee's mechanics. Just self-evaluate. Did you call holding and then get out to see if that quarterback was going to get killed after he threw that football? Because there's a guy there.
Right.
So let's talk about that as the replays come about. Now, obviously, this is madness at the end of this play. We've got 71 coming in with the crown of the helmet, potentially. And we've got this man cleaning up the pile, right? I mean, come on. This is so we could do the same. The poll isn't going to focus on targeting. We could do the targeting process real quick here if you want.
Well, which one?
I know both of them actually.
Yeah, exactly.
Both of them. So we have some good slow motion. More graphics department, fine work. Let's do the guy tackling the interceptor. All right.
Okay, we do that. We're gonna do both of them, or we're gonna do that, or just one of them.
Well, we can do. Okay, we can do. Well,
let's do that one first.
Yeah, the runner gets tackled by number 71.
71.
So is 19 defenseless at the time of contact? No. Same as before. No.
Right.
71 as an indicator. I mean, now this is, come on.
You know what I struggle with?
This is attacking with the crown of the helmet, isn't it?
It is. But you know what I struggle with?
Well, he doesn't know how to tackle.
He has no idea how to tackle. All he knows how to do is just throw his big fat self at somebody. Oh. That's literally all he knows how to do. Just go and hit somebody as hard as you can with all of your body weight.
I know, but his head's down for an hour. His head's literally down for an hour before
he doesn't even know if he hit the dude or not, Brandon. At the end of the play, if you ask him if he hit the dude, he has no idea.
Well,
but I understand. It's probably an indicator. He has no idea what he's doing.
I mean, this is pretty egregious.
All right, let's go with
that's literal. Now I give you the Fresno State one. This one, I mean, come on.
Yeah. He almost like dislocated his teammate's knee. I'm telling you, he has no idea what he's doing. He's just running his big self down there saying, I'm just going to slam into somebody with a white jersey.
Absolutely.
That's all I'm going to do.
That's what he's doing, but he puts his head down to do it. So that's not allowed. That's not allowed in terms of creating an indicator.
I'm good with that indicator.
And then I don't think we have to worry too much about the force component.
Yeah, it's force.
It's there.
Right, so
71's gone. Now, mechanically, these plays are chaotic. We know it would be really nice, in my opinion, to get this one on the field. It would be really, really nice from a couple umpire inside out angle, maybe a back judge inside out angle.
Back judge has the perfect angle to me on this.
Yeah. Okay, let's do the other one. Let's do it's now this is I don't know what number he is, but he's going after number 9.
He looks like 67.
Okay, now defense is number 9 who's receiving the hit defenseless.
Absolutely.
He's
just standing there. He's literally standing there watching his teammate his opponent get murdered by his teammate.
Exactly. So this is a defenseless player.
Yes.
Is this an indicator?
Absolutely.
This is an attacking posture. I mean, this is a blindside block.
Yeah. First of all, I'm calling. Well, I'm sorry. Let's keep going through the process. Go ahead. Let's keep going through the process.
Okay. But I mean, so I feel like, if I do feel like this is a blindside block. This is attacking, making forcible contact outside the field of vision.
Absolutely.
Gosh, he's peeling back. He's doing everything that, is kind of not allowed. Not that peeling back has anything to do with it in the rule, but it's an indicator of an indicator.
Yes.
So he's going after and attacking, no question. And just for the blindside block rule, this is forcible contact.
Yes.
Okay, now, do we have force to the head neck area?
That's where I'm iffy.
I don't think so. I mean, I think we see enough of his head kind of, I don't know, whiplash or whatever, but
yeah, I think he hit him more in the shoulder.
Yeah, I think the head stays in the same place for a little bit and then finally follows his body. So I don't think we have. I don't have forcible contacts. I'm not calling targeting, but I have a blindside block, man.
Or don't just a personal foul.
Isn't the ball still alive?
Yeah, I get. Yes,
19 spins off that.
We can't call that a personal foul.
19 could, if 19 didn't have the helmet of 71 in his lungs, or his kidneys, hopefully 19 could have kept his feet spin off that, and then this defender's trying to make a tackle, but he gets blindside blocked.
I like that. Yeah, you're right. We can't just call that personal foul. So that's an illegal blindside block.
It's an illegal blindside block, and I don't have targeting here.
All right, good.
The head neck contact.
I agree with that.
Lack of. Okay.
So we got flags all over the field, and I don't even know.
Well, here's the poll. All right, so here's the poll. Let me make sure. Yes. Okay. There was a foul for OH by the offense. Good call by the referee. Hook. I mean, just so obvious, right? It allows the quarterback to escape the pocket. Again, mechanically, let's check. Did we get our vision back out to the potential for roughing the passer? That's an aside. Okay, so there's a foul for offensive holding by the offense. The replay official added targeting by the passing team.
That was Big 71?
Assume, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, good.
Yep.
All right.
Assume the officials called the live ball blindside block by the intercepting team. What's the proper enforcement? All right.
All right, I like this.
All right. So, A, all fouls offset, replay the down at the previous spot, team A's ball, only option. B, all fouls offset, team B's ball at the end of the play. All right. Are we noticing a pattern? Now, this is where it gets dicey in C. The OH and the BSB offset, but enforce the targeting from the end of the return. It's team B's ball.
All right.
D, the targeting and blindside block offset. Enforce the OH from the previous spot. It's team A's ball. Uh-oh. Gigi's not liking any of this.
Oh.
E, decline the OH and the targeting. Enforce the blindside block from the end of the return. Team B's ball.
Ooh. We got an OH, a chain. Well, let me not get into all of that. I don't want to ruin. Let's see if we have any write-in votes this time.
We might need some write-ins. I'm not sure.
Big 71 he's just trying to his whole intent is just to run and hit somebody as hard as he can. I don't even think he knows what an indicator of targeting is. He literally has no idea.
You don't think they went over that in the offensive line room?
Definitely didn't go over that.
Oh, that's just classic. Okay. This has been a little bit of an exhausting poll process, I know. But this is pretty cool, what we're seeing here.
So just a bit of trivia. This is where I had my first college football game experience, right here on that field.
Is this Southeastern or is this
Texas A&M? Southeastern.
Okay.
I thought that was – you know what? They're both Lions. That might be Texas A&M College.
Wow.
Let me zoom. Let's see when they zoom back out. Let's see what the colors look like. I've never been to Texas A&M. This looks like Texas A&M Commerce. This does not look like Southeastern. Okay, yeah, I've never been to that place.
The banners in the background are the
oh, yeah, it's obvious. Yeah. Okay, I take it back. I've never been at this place. Trivia wrong.
Yeah, we watched. Oh, we watched OU play Texas A&M Commerce in softball, and it
had to be ugly.
I think everybody knows how that went.
Yeah,
but okay, all right. Here we go. So this is fun because this is basically the same enforcement process as the one we already went through, right?
That's correct.
That's crazy. Now the outcome might be, you kind of said on that kickoff, wow, they want to re-kick because they want better field position. So here, this is why the rule exists. I mean, we got to ask ourselves who has the ball at the end of the down, and that's
team B.
That's the intercepting team.
Yep.
Okay. Did they foul? And the answer here is yes. The poll assumes we called the blindside block.
Yep.
Right. That's the foul on them. Okay. Did that foul happen before or after the change of possession?
After.
And it happened after. So they're clean. Boom. Now we already know there's fouls by the other team as well. So our rule kicks in. Our clean hands rule kicks in.
Yes. And it is an exception, as we put that in the chat earlier.
Good. So now we know that they can accept offsetting fouls and replay the down. Well, why does the rule exist? Because they don't want to do that.
No, they want the
ball. They will gladly decline penalties for their opponent's fouls, keep the ball, and you can mark us off all you want, but it's our ball now. So that's the whole intent of the rule, right? So we just kind of came a little bit full circle. So just from the poll perspective, which this is really strange, because if you think about this, we got 3 fouls on the play. 2 are by the original offense. 1's by the original defense.
All live.
All are live ball. Are live ball, right? That blindside block is really a live ball foul if we report it that way, obviously. We're going to decline. So E is really the proper answer by rule, and we got 3/4 of us said that. Decline the OH, decline the targeting. He's still disqualified. Sorry, Mr. 71. The offensive line coach might want to go through the targeting rules after this. We're going to decline the OH, decline the targeting. We're going to enforce the blindside block from where? The end of the return. So why are we enforcing it from the end of the return?
Why are we enforcing the illegal blindside block from the end of the return?
Yeah. Isn't it a spot foul?
Well, we got to go through the basic spot stuff. Yeah, basic spot. What kind of play is it, first of all?
Okay.
It's a run play.
Perfect. Blindside block occurs during the return, so it's during the run.
Yes.
When we report it, we called the blindside block after the interception, during the return.
Yep.
Mr. Referee, listen to me. This is important. It was after the interception and during the return. I got a blindside block by number 67 of the intercepting team. All right. So the run ends, just for fun, let's say the run ends at the 49, and my flag is sitting on the 50.
Yep.
And what 49 am I saying? I'm saying B's 49, the minus 49. So we're going to go from the end of the run because the spot of the foul is in advance of the basic spot.
Correct.
The enforcement spot becomes the basic spot because the spot of the foul is in advance and it's not behind. So everything gets pulled all together with this play, right? You got to figure out basic spot. How does the spot of the foul marry up with that from a 3-and-1 perspective? We got this clean hands principle that we studied tonight. There's so many mechanical things. We got to pay attention. This is chaotic and we're working reverse mechanics, but we got to get locked into some of these. These are big hits, right?
Right.
And I'm almost more mad about the blindside block than the targeting. You know what I mean?
Yeah, agreed. That was pretty egregious. Yeah.
I mean, come on, that's targeting, but at least he doesn't hit the head. But that's why the blindside block rule exists. So that's just a great play. It's just chaos.
But we have to remember we can't offset fouls and take the result of the play. We can't do
exactly.
that. And that's for the 21% who chose that option. And we talked about that on the kickoff play as well. We will never offset fouls and take the result of the play. We just can't do that.
Exactly. And technically, again, they could, Team B, since they're clean, they could choose to offset and replay the down.
And replay the down. They could. But we would not want to give them that option.
No.
It's a waste of time.
Yeah. So just very technically from a rules book, they are declining offsetting fouls. They're keeping the football. We're enforcing their penalty. It's a foul during a run. The basic spot's the end of the run at the 49. The spot of the foul is in advance at the 50. So we'll march 15 from the 49 back to the 34. I'm good at math. And it'll be B's ball, 1st and 10 at the 34.
That was 2-digit subtraction, Brandon. If you can't do that, then that doesn't prove that you're good at
Thank goodness I didn't have to leap the 50.
Yeah,
Oof.
exactly.
Oof.
Yeah, I want to see that math.
Yeah. Then I started doing 51s and 52s.
Oh, I do that all the time.
Yeah.
I've gone to the 62 and I've done all that kind of stuff.
You've gone to the 62.
Absolutely.
Wow. Yeah, I like it. That's the 38.
That's the 38, correct.
Yeah, that's a good point. 62.
I'm not smart enough to do that other kind of math. I'm sorry.
Yeah, because sometimes you got to go, if you're going from the 42 and it's a 15-yard penalty, you go 8, but then you got to go 7. So 50 minus 7 is 43.
Yeah, that's crazy. I'm not doing all that. I'm going to go from the 42 to the 57.
All right. This is good. We got a lot more plays, but not for tonight.
Not for tonight. I think we covered enough ground.
Good concepts, good off-season concepts. But, man, when these plays happen, man. These plays all happened. Correct. So we need to know these rules. It's crazy. We can take these somewhat obscure rules, but actually apply them to real plays.
Right.
And just having that hold up front is enough to apply this clean hands, change possession rule. So the hold plus the blind side block. Now add the targeting in. And again, with this play, if we don't get that targeting on the field, we're gonna do a bunch of stuff, and replay is going to mess with our process.
Yes.
When they add the targeting. Now, we shouldn't need to do anything different other than disqualify the player, because that's just another foul by the passing team. So the hold already was there, and we already took care of the, declining offsetting fouls. So we decline holding, we accept the blindside block. Now, when they add targeting in, we just got to have the wherewithal to know that really doesn't change anything here. But
correct.
That could mess us up if we're not thinking about it and we don't know the rules like we need to. All right, cool, man. Thanks a lot.
All right, later.
Next week. Everybody. Yeah, take care. See ya.